from that, we started with a match between Ricky Starks and Juice Robinson that never happened because we got the debut of Jay Whiteo.
Yeah. We'll get to let's talk about Jay White, and then there's something I got to address in the chat. But yeah, Jay White shows up, um, and the crowd popped big for him,
And he played
and
his
then
music.
him and Juice like beat the hell out of Ricky Starks, and honestly, like I think that's a nice program for Jay White coming in, Ricky Starks. I really do,
Same.
because like their characters will play off each other very well. And then like Jay White is level of wrestler to where like he can hide some of the stuff that's missing out of Ricky's game in the ring. So I think like that actually works out really well for both of them.
Yep.
Actually,
I think Jay White already got off to a blazing start with me. He just stopped the Ricky Starks versus Juice Robinson match before it even happened. So shout out to Jay White for doing that. Maybe this is a new Jay White that likes to please Rich Latta. Who knows? So I guess
don't get too far ahead of yourself.
never
Let's
know.
wait and see.
But I guess we should talk about that. So Jay White signing with AEW over WWE. People have put out these different things with this hiring freeze that's going on with the sale. Them not really being as talkative with Jay White in the process. Tony Khan swoops in, grabs this guy, and I'm sure he didn't come in cheap. This guy is a former 2-time IWGP heavyweight champion. I think he's going to get a decent push. And he could, he's put himself right in that class, like those early 30s guys that they have. Like he's as experienced as pretty much any of them, especially in big match situations.
I mean, technically, he's more experienced than even Adam Page.
Right. And it's like, all right, well, let's see what he has. There would have been part of me that would have been, I think I had thought he was going to go to WWE, and he was kind of tailor made for WWE in a sense. But it would have been part of it that was sad that he would have been like 30 years old, headed immediately into retirement. So if you can stave that off for a couple years, cool, because there's lots of cool stuff you can do with Jay White here in this promotion, like tons of over baby faces. He's also a heel that doesn't have a problem being a heel, that you can like really like carve his section there of being a fucking bad guy against people that people love, and he'll roll with it. Like he's not trying to do the double reaction shit that
Right.
I'm starting to get very sick of, like across the board in professional wrestling. But his New Japan time was it was very hard on him, up and down. Like maybe that was a lot of had to do with typecasting. Like it was just who he was being expected to be. I don't think he comes into AEW with that same pressure. So maybe it'll allow Jay White to be seen in a different light by a lot of people, maybe even by myself. Like he's not being handed the keys to the kingdom, like essentially like before his time. So I don't know. I'm positive on him coming in, and let's see what he does. And until he starts drifting into old habits, I'm gonna kind of give him some rope here, because he's got all fresh opponents now. There's not like movies and tons of tape on what he's done with all these other guys, and he has a big reputation too. Like everyone's talked about him as this great promo and stuff, so he's got some stuff to live up to as well.
Yeah, I'm with you on the thing of like giving him rope, and this is being a fresh lease on life for him. Being in AEW, because as you mentioned, fresh matchups, and also the thing that cannot be, or the thing that I'm not going to forget is like when he came into AEW and wrestled on shows. He wrestled without the bullshit and the Bullet Club and Gato and all the rolling out the ring and powdering and wasting fucking time. He got busy and got to wrestling, and that was like one of my more fun moments with Jay White, was watching him just come in the ring, wrestle the match, not be on this bullshit. If you want to cheat at the end because you're a heel or whatever else with a dick kick or whatever else, I understand it, but like you're going to give me mostly what I want to see out of an AEW match. And if he's going to do that, I have no problems with him being here. But the second he gets a heater coming out here and start cheating these matches and bringing that Bullet Club shit over here, that's when I'm going to be like, see, here you go. But you know, given what the track record is so far in AEW, I have no reason for those concerns so far. But you know, so it's a clean slate for me right now. It's a clean slate.
I'm gonna get him in MJF in the same promotion. I think that's gonna be pretty interesting as far as like the heel debates. Who's a better heel and shit like that, and see who actually like would win out. And all these like we're gonna get. We don't have to imagine them elsewhere. But New Japan loses this guy. Obviously,
NJ's taller than him too.
Yeah. New Japan loses this guy to admittedly one of their business partners. I wonder what the dynamic is there. I think it was kind of well known that Jay White was unhappy to a certain degree in New Japan. Of course, he kind of started traveling over there less. There was a lot of stuff that happened mid-pandemic that made his run strange, to say the least.
This directly doesn't have anything to do with Jay White, but we heard about him and Juice and the traveling and how much they hated it. And what was illuminating, obviously, I don't know how much of it was real or the way it was described. Obviously, he was in the middle of cutting this passionate promo, but like when Ospreay cut that promo about his at the press conference for Wrestle Kingdom about 2 Omega, talked about how he was basically in a fucking small box in quarantine for a week or two or whatever else, while he had to watch from a video watching his friend be buried. There is something to that from a human perspective that those guys had to go through that we have not seen, we were not told about, or not. It wasn't described, in flushed out ways as far as the quarantine process there. Because look, they do have those what do they call them? Those capsule hotel rooms, and bro, them things is not big. Them things are smaller than penitentiary rooms. So the prison room. So like there is to do all that just to wrestle.
And then like you got to start asking about Will in the future.
Yeah,
all these guys potentially making their way in.
Yeah, but like to me, it always given what was happening with the build and everything to Wrestle Kingdom this year, it seemed like Jay White wanted out, and apparently it had to be known that he was leaving, and he went out and did business the right way on the way out, put guys over, and I think that obviously if it becomes like everybody fucking goes over there, then it just there have to be a stopping point as far as putting their foot down and saying we're done fucking working with you. But like I think there are cases where it's like this person was going to America and it had nothing to do with Tony Khan meddling and stealing talent. Like it's a place where he was not going to be wrestling here anymore, and he decided to work with our partner, and we still have the history with him, and he'll help sell. He'll help buy some subscriptions when we do Forbidden Door or whatever else, and we can move on. It's
like all right. Would you rather him lose him to WWE where you never see him again, or like there's a couple times a year he could come over and help you out still. Like
potentially,
I don't know.
Potentially, yeah.
I don't know which one you take like in that situation, but Anyway, we'll see what happens.
So hold on before we move. So now that we're moved on from the Jay White thing,